January 6th, so that was about 6 days ago, right? The coup, the revolution, the start of uh the God Emperor reign.
January 6th did not disappoint.
Yeah,
It did
it
not.
it did
Everyone
not.
got
It
their
did.
money's worth that day, Chris.
Yeah. I was shocked. I was sick that day, so I was like very bored, and I was like, and I think that was the only thing that was keeping me like just like from like falling into COVID stupor. But so that was very enjoyable to just see all that fucking crazy shit that happened.
I can't wait until that the insurrection, the coup gets dissected or just critiqued from like a COVID standpoint. Like, oh, like some of the attendees weren't even wearing a mask. Like, I can't wait until that's like a narrative.
Oh well, some of them are probably gonna die of COVID. Let's just be honest. I mean, it'd be hilarious if
No, yeah, no, no,
the guy
that's for sure.
with the horns, like the Q shaman, if he's the one that dies from COVID.
Well, he's younger, right?
Who knows? I mean, like, look at what the fuck COVID did to me. And that guy
Okay, all right,
is a balding manlet.
okay,
I
okay,
mean, he's
okay.
33 and he's already bald. That's pathetic, dude.
Maybe he's stressed out. He's stressed out because
No,
election
it's
hasn't been
called
going
having
so well.
low T's. It's called having low T in his genes. It's called his parents shouldn't have bred him because he was getting chicken tendies from his mother's basement. So we already knew like he was a genetic failure. I mean, a lot of these people are genetic failures because you don't go and do this type of shit, if you're a chat or whatever.
If you're like Hunter Biden,
Yeah, you're
you're a
like
level
Hunter
above
Biden
that.
with his 9-inch dick.
You know what I was thinking, Chris? I'm sorry.
What?
This
Yeah, go
just
for it.
popped in my head, right?
Mhm.
I swear Donald Trump Jr. is probably jealous of Hunter Biden.
Oh no, totally. I mean, because I mean, for one thing, Joe Biden actually loves Hunter. I mean, let's be honest. The only children that Trump loves is Ivanka and Barron. He doesn't give a shit about the other three.
How come? Why is that? Is it just like looks or something? And
I think it has to
what's
do
so
with
great about Barron
looks.
too? Walk
Well,
me through
Barron is a
what's so
is a
great about
giant.
Barron? Yeah,
Barron
that's
is a
true.
giant, and he's the baby, so he naturally
Okay.
will get his father's love for that. So he at least is like a 6'7" like fucking like behemoth titan that can eat Trump if he talks shit on him. And then we have obviously Ivanka, who looks like prime material. So the other three, it's just because they're obviously failures, and Trump knows that they're failures. Everyone knows that they're failures. So, but yeah,
Yeah. Well, the difference also, I think Hunter Biden made being a mooch cool though. He did it in a cool way, right? Whereas Donald Trump Jr. just isn't even cool.
it's cringy. I mean, the guy's still doing fucking memes after having like 5 kids and having like being on his second wife or whatever. I mean, the guy is a fucking loser.
Yeah, it seems like to me he's like kind of a groupie. He just follows around like the Trump train, right? But what is he really doing there?
Exactly. It's like it's gonna amount to nothing. I mean, like I think some of these people that stormed the Capitol, I think they're probably gonna be more influential on the right than he ever will be.
Oh my God. That'd be amazing actually if some of these guys make like a political celebrity career off that.
I bet they will. I bet they will.
Yeah. Yeah, they become like
But
lionized
but
and they're heroes and stuff. That'd be
I mean,
great.
some of them will become martyrs, like the one chick that put up the
Yeah.
Gadsden flag saying, "Don't tread on me," and then she got fucking stampeded. That's fucking hilarious. Let's be honest. That chick that died from being, like getting
Yeah.
stomped to death. That's hilarious. Wearing the "Don't tread on me" flag.
She went out doing what she loved.
And so did that one cop that was a Trump supporter.
Oh my God. That's what he lived for. That's what he trained for. His entire life was for that day.
Yes, it was for that day. It was to be killed by his own fellow maggot chuds.
All right, so what the hell happened that day? What do you remember? Like how
Uh,
did it kind of start for you?
for
Because
me,
for
it was
me,
just yeah. Go for it. Go for it. You can start.
it was the point when the gates or whatever was were breached by the coup, by the
Oh,
revolutionaries
breach. Yeah,
with their
breach.
muskets.
You mean
With their
breach as in
muskets
like
and rocket
they were like, come
launchers.
in, sir. Like they literally put them into the fucking gates.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, if people aren't even armed, it's not going to be bloody, right? So it just takes a whole nother layer of it away. Um, but yeah, that's really what I remember. The gates have been breached. That's when I kind of tuned in.
Yeah, like for me, it was more like when I started seeing like, wait a minute, what are they doing? Are they actually like scaling the walls? Like what the fuck?
Assassin's Creed or Lord of the Rings or something or what?
I thought I was watching an anime. I was like, what the fuck are these
Yeah,
people
no,
doing?
seriously. It was getting silly. It was definitely
Yeah,
getting
no,
silly.
it was really fucking silly. Like that's the one thing that I could take out of this. I'm like, and the thing that really, really like like was making me just like cringe the entire time was because I was watching it like with my relatives who were like they were watching it on Univision and keep hearing fucking Jorge Ramos like crying about norms and decorum and the Constitution that this is a riot revolution.
Wait, what was he saying? What was he saying in Spanish? What was he saying?
He was essentially saying like is this something that we should only expect like in Latin America where coups happen. I'm like, yeah, coups that are usually started by the fucking United States, you asshole. Like I'm glad you're saying like you're saying like this doesn't happen in the United States. Like this shouldn't be allowed to happen. I'm like, this is something that people only expect to see in Latin America. I'm like, yeah, why do you think that happens, you fucking asshole? It's like the guy is insane. The guy was like saying like this is something that naturally is like biologically inert that happens in Latin America. I'm like,
Yeah.
you white racist piece of shit. I'm like, are you saying this is like fucking genetic to like brown like indigenous Latin people? I'm like, you're a piece of shit. I'm glad that this is happening and you can't fucking and you're fucking crying over this, you piece of crap.
I'm glad that Trump owned him too.
Oh yeah, Trump has owned him like from the very beginning that he started out. And then I hope when he comes back in 2024, he keeps owning, Jorge Ramos to the point where Jorge Ramos is like, dies. One like like and I don't know. Fuck him. Fuck Jorge Ramos. Piece of
Fuck
shit.
Jorge Ramos.
Piece of shit. Piece
I
of
think
shit CIA propagandist.
I love that that we'll remember Trump's presidency. I mean, for whatever things he did, sure, but even more so just for the roasting and the the bickering and like the tweets and stuff. That's really gonna be like kind of the hallmark of his presidency, right?
And now his fucking Twitter account is banned. I'm like, that's so. Oh
That should be
god.
illegal. That should be illegal against the
I know it
president.
should be. It should be. I'm like, and
He had the
it's
best
funny.
Twitter. He had easily the best Twitter.
Yeah, he was the best shit poster of all time. Best shit poster of all time. No one can compete with Trump. He is
No one's even
the real
close.
king. Yeah, no one's even close. No one will ever come close. Will ever be close. He is the true shit posting king.
And it was kind of ridiculous that it even got to this point. Like, how is this even real?
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I mean, I think I mean, Twitter eventually just got rid of Trump once like they were done using him. I guess because at this point like I mean, like he
Yeah, no,
might.
actually,
Yeah, go for it.
he well, I think okay, so I actually kind of buy into that a little bit, like because Twitter definitely got clout from him. It was a mutually beneficial relationship, right? Trump was able to deliver his message directly to followers or whatever, not through news outlets who are gonna interpret it and basically just give you their interpretation of what he said. Um, so for that, it was enormous for him, right? And the pure trolling and stupidity. Um, and then for Twitter, all those followers and a person of his stature, it's like it's great business for both of them.
Yeah, no, I mean it is. I mean, and it's not. It wasn't just Twitter. It was other, social media sites. It was also, the
Facebook,
failing,
right?
yeah, Facebook, but also like even like publications like like the New York Times or the Washington
Oh,
Post. Like
oh,
even
oh,
they,
Chris, the Washington Post, democracy dies in darkness.
it truly does die in darkness after Trump got permabanned. After Trump's account got dark. Now democracy will die.
Yeah, actually, maybe
I mean,
I'm gonna miss because having Trump as your president, it makes you feel like anything's possible in a way, right? Like anything can happen because it's like this is so ridiculous. Like it takes the guardrails off off
I
what's
mean,
supposed to
anything
happen in life.
stupid can happen. That's the one thing. It's like don't expect anything
Exactly.
good.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
good. It's just only stupidity, though.
Yeah. No holds barred, right?
Yeah, no holds barred to anything good. But I guess like with this whole with the Trump thing is like it was basically the white man's last hurrah and not experiencing the full brunt of neoliberalism. I think
And
Biden will go for it.
well, and that, and then also it's hilarious because it's that, and how that was manifested was basically just Trump owning the libs, right? It was just mostly just roasting, because like you were saying, neoliberalism, like what really changed in the economic position of his base? Um,
Jack shit.
Not much, right? And in fact, weren't most Trump supporters doing well anyway
Yeah,
before
they were
Trump?
they were doing fine before Trump, and they're still doing
Yeah.
okay. It's
And
just
obviously, and that's not to say that he didn't appeal and push for issues for like blue collar whites as well as a president. But obviously, just like on average, most Trump supporters just aren't that poor.
yeah. I mean, there are working class people that support Trump, but it's a mass coalition of people, and a
Yeah,
lot of them are doing fine. It's just the only
yeah,
problem though is that they're not going to do fine forever. I mean, neoliberalism eventually comes for all,
yeah,
except for a
yeah.
few.
And so, um, basically, like what really changed from, let's say, Obama to Trump for that base of his people, that were like his rabid fan base? Not much, right? It was
Yeah,
mostly like kind of the success of his presidency to them is mostly his trolling, and just they had this person with a huge platform just roasting every PC elitist cultural norm for 4 years. That was basically it, just owning the libs.
yeah. No, that was pretty much just it, and they love that because they're they they
And it was
they
fucking lit, Chris. It was so
yeah, it was
lit.
great. It was great because I mean, these people really fucking they mean they stand for nothing. They mean nothing. I mean, all these these PC warriors, these fucking techno babble nerds that try to talk about racial in, inclusivity or whatever in the workplace. I'm like, it means nothing to them because it's literally just them to try to make themselves feel better about being part of this capitalist system that's demonstrably evil. I'm like, and everyone knows it's bullshit. So if someone wanted them, some people wanted them to call it out. I mean, obviously, the left couldn't do it because um, a lot of them are not like that. So it had to come someone from the right, though.
Hmm. And I think also at least the far left should be thankful for Trump, because the fact that there's a president that kind of just ratcheted up the uh the cultural the culture wars in this country. I think polarization and just yeah, increasing tensions is to the benefit of fringe groups. So like Antifa, for example, their clout went up under Trump. They should be thankful for anything, if anything.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, though, is that they don't like the type of fucking drama that we saw in the Capitol. I mean, if it was actually like Black Lives Matter or Antifa, and I'm talking about like the real ones. I'm not talking about those little
Yeah,
fucking like piece of shit ones like that the
on
Methodist or
Instagram.
the Universal, yeah, the Instagram like Universal Church like pastors come out and be like, blessed be everyone, and let's make sure that this is a peaceful protest. I mean, the ones
Yeah,
that actually like have read Marx and like believe that this is going to be like like a leftist like like take over the United States government, they would be
yeah,
instantly shot like right on the spot.
yeah. I think I do believe it. Well, actually, let's just jump into it. I was gonna say, first of all, do you have any? Do you think there's any legitimacy that it was staged?
I don't think it was staged. But I think that there were plans to do shit like to go a little bit further. Like that did exist like like on social media like and even on Parlor, which we can talk about that in a bit.
Oh yeah.
But there were like some coordinations to like like to make this like bigger than it should have been.
Hmm. Hmm. I think I mean the dust is still kind of everywhere, right? Things
Yeah,
aren't
yeah.
exactly clear yet. But like right now, I think it's I don't think that Trump legitimately supported that to happen. That
Yeah, at
protest.
that scale, I think that's true as well. I mean, he kind of did want to see like something shocking to happen, but I don't think
Yeah,
he exactly
yeah,
expected to know where it was gonna like lead out. He's kind of like the Joker, like from the Dark
yeah,
Knight, not from the Joaquin Phoenix movie, the one from the Dark Knight from the Nolan movie, like
yeah.
where he's like a dog, like and he won't know what he does with a bone.
Yeah, I think it's because it's being used either legitimately, illegitimately, whatever you're however you decide. The fact that it's being used as grounds for impeachment now, right? To me, just the way the Democrats are using it is making me skeptical that it was, I don't know. I wonder if there's any kind of fishy business going on.
I don't think so. I
You
think the
you don't
Democrats
think
just
so? Do
no. I
Democrats
I
have
think
any
the
relation?
No, I think the Democrats just basically jumped on it. It's kind of like they a lot of people are saying like the Democrats are trying to use this like as their version of 9/11, like how the Republicans
Yeah, no,
immediately
actually,
jumped
I
on.
believe that. Yeah, I totally believe that. Their version, I like that. That's a good analogy right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
That's a great way to put it.
they didn't do this, but they're like immediately when they saw it happening, they seized on the opportunity and they're gonna basically milk it for all it's worth. And that's probably
Yeah,
what they're probably going to do with this.
yeah.
But it's like what
Because
you told me. Yeah, go for it.
well, I was gonna say, like, I mean, I'm seeing like memes, like it'll be like Pelosi giving someone like a paper bag of money to like storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it's nearly like to that extent where it's like first of all any direct involvement of like a big name Democrat. But I also think that if Democrats, let's say like they knew in advance it was gonna happen, they would want it to happen, right?
Mhm.
Um, like so I'm that's really just all I'm saying.
No,
I'm
I
sure
see what you're trying to say, but no, I
yeah,
think that
they
this
knew it
was
would
just
work for them,
unexpected,
right?
and they immediately just like took advantage of it. So they got lucky, like with this type of
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
and now they're
true.
gonna milk it for all it's worth. Like like how AOC is like saying on Twitter like, oh, don't worry, everyone, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Like, bitch, no one cares. Shut the fuck up.
It's like, okay, also all these Congress people, did anyone even come in contact with the Congressperson? Because people are acting like they're war veterans now.
Yeah, exactly. They're acting like, oh my god, are they all okay? Like, and they're all posting like, don't worry, I'm fine and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't give a shit. We're fine. I wish you were actually were fucking
I
fine.
wish you were dead.
No, well, let's not go that far. But I'm like, you're a scum, and almost every one of you are scum. So I'm like, I wouldn't mourn you being dead.
From COVID, from the Black Plague, not
No,
from political
none of these,
violence.
none of these fucking, child eaters are gonna die from the plague. I mean, that the COVID cannot kill those that eat children.
Yeah, adrenochrome makes you COVID proof.
That's what the COVID vaccine is. It's adrenochrome. It's full of adrenochrome.
Um,
It's gonna make us all into child pedophiles.
but to get back to the storming of uh of the Capitol,
Yeah,
I think those who like storm, like for example that woman who died or whatever, who got
yeah,
shot with that pistol, like I think those are real supporters. I think that was real. I think it's
yeah,
100% real. I
yeah.
guess
No, they were legit
the
people.
part where I think that I want to know more about
Mhm.
is for the police like chiefs or whatever who were like really soft on them, on the Trump protesters or whatever. Were they soft on them because they were like the police and are Trump supporters basically,
I
or
think, yeah, that's a good
did they
question.
want it? Did Democrats want this to happen? I don't know.
Well, it's not just Democrats. The Republicans also,
And
voice,
Republicans, you're right. Yeah, no, this is to hurt Trump. This is really the establishment to hurt Trump, I should say. Not
yeah.
even
I,
Republicans
I
too.
mean,
I'm sure McConnell would support it.
yeah. I mean, look at how many of them are now backstabbing Trump and they're throwing him under the bus. I mean, Lindsey Graham, this
Oh, Lindsey.
fucking, this,
Okay,
this.
wait, Chris, is Lindsey Graham gay or not?
I'm gonna say he is, but to not be homophobic, let's not, probe any
Well,
further.
no. I thought there was rumors. Wasn't there
Yeah,
rumors?
yeah. There's rumors, but he's 100% a queen. He's 100% a queen. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I usually have crappy gaydar. Trust me. But like with this one, I can immediately tell that this one is a fucking queen. And immediately when his boyfriend died, he went to go looking for the next alpha, which was Trump.
Oh man, go easy on Lindsey Graham. Go easy on him. What did he do to you? That's
He's a
funny.
little bitch. He has no fucking spine. He's a worm.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah,
He's
actually,
like Pete Buttigieg. Like like he's the
yeah,
right wing version of Pete Buttigieg.
yeah. That's a great way of putting it. Exactly. They're both like little um suck up like rats who just like do whatever
It takes to
they're
get
told.
power.
Yeah, yeah, and stay relevant and just get clout. And they just kind of hang out in the background. Like they're not like the superstars, but they are like stars, right?
Exactly.
Um, and they feed off of Trump's clout. Now they're stabbing him.
Exactly. I mean, like they're like, but I don't think any of these people are gonna, amount to anything. I think they're all gonna be seen as the worms that they are. I mean, Ted Cruz. I mean, come on, that guy was always a fucking spineless worm.
Wait, really? Ted Cruz is giving up on Trump?
He's being wishy-washy. I mean, he's like first saying like because he's trying to protect his own hide, because because I mean we can blame Trump all we want, but other people also were also fanning the flames, such as Cruz, Hawley,
Oh yeah,
all
no,
the
no, pretty much. Yeah, totally. I would say like a majority of Republicans were at least
fanning the
reposting
flames.
like, yeah, I mean obviously some more than others, right?
Yeah.
Like the hardcore, I don't know, patriots, whatever. But
Mhm.
well, I'm saying just whatever you want to call them. I don't mean
Yeah, yeah, no,
that
it's fine.
like
I mean, it's funny now. Now Patriots has been a slur. I love it.
yeah,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm saying. It's like a right
fuck Tom
wing
Brady,
like
but that's great.
oh come on, go easy on Tom Brady. I love that guy.
You and every other straight guy.
It's just for the winning, just for the winning.
Sure.
Uh no, what was it? What was okay, so Lindsey Graham and Buttigieg, first of all, mirror images, they're both just little rats. Um
Yeah, but you were talking about Patriots, dude.
um damn, I forget. What were we saying?
We're saying about the Patriots being a slur now.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's that identity, but anyway, God, what were we talking about?
We were talking about how about Ted Cruz, about uh,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so reposting just like Trump content and stuff. Yeah. Um, it's it's how would you say it? Because first of all, now that Trump is banned from Twitter,
mhm.
um, I think they're all gonna try to kind of emulate his energy and
Oh,
his
they're gonna
like.
try to capture his space, like they're gonna try to fill in the power vacuum.
Well, okay, so yeah, but I'm saying their strategy of doing that, of absorbing his base, yeah, is I think they're gonna try to emulate his like high energy bravado a little bit, like the over the top. I
But
think it's
none of
gonna
them
be
can
really
fucking
like
do that
goofy.
though. It's
No,
pathetic.
exactly, yeah. It's gonna be really awkward and just strange. Like Jeb and his well, didn't
Please
he have just
clap.
some like some really cringeworthy? Yeah, it's like, what are you
Please
doing, bro?
clap.
Like,
No, but I like we've already seen that phenomenon happen. It's called Donald Trump Jr. Trying to capture his dad's energy, but he can't.
yeah, yeah, no, it's terrible. It's awkward. It's painful,
Yeah,
but it might work to a certain extent because if Trump's out, then they can be they can fill in the void. Like who else is gonna stop them? You know?
that's true. But at the same time, I'm like, can anyone? I mean, who? I don't think anyone can really carry on the Trump legacy because Trump really didn't stand for anything. He wasn't an ideologue.
Yeah, no, it was really owning the libs. That's what he stood for.
It's essentially that the guy was like a cult of personality, like Juan Perón, like he was a populist, but like a
Yeah,
certain type of brand, like of his, like of his the cult image of him. That's it,
yeah,
nothing else.
and he was entertaining. The guy put on his damn show. Those rallies. Have you ever seen rallies like those ones? Come on.
I yeah, but the thing is, like the thing with Trump is that I think this was very natural to him. For a lot of these other people, though, it's very
Oh
forced.
yeah.
So people see that.
No, no, no. He's a legend. It's very few people can do what he did.
Yeah. I mean, they can
Straight up.
also. I mean, very few people can also do what Obama did, was basically be like
Oh yeah.
suck
No, no,
up
no,
the boiler of
absolutely.
everything.
All of these people are a rare breed.
Exactly.
No doubt about that. They're using their gifts very differently though. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be really strange to see Kasich try to be high energy.
Oh my
Um,
god.
to see God, you name it. I think even Democrats kind of embrace ratcheting it up a level too. I think that's going to be kind of a theme in the party where obviously not Joe Biden. That's just I don't even know if he's capable of being high energy.
Joe
Um,
Biden can. But not like high. Like I guess like the energy of being provocateur, being like someone that that is flamboyant like Trump. Biden can be, but the problem though is that the Democratic Party doesn't want him to be like that. They want him to be like the mega Trump.
I thought he's okay. I think he can still like hold his own.
I mean, he does
Um,
shit like come on, fat, like let's do 25 push-ups. I bet I can beat you right now. That
that's
shit's
true. That's right.
great. That shit's great.
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that
but I'm
shit is
saying so
great.
he'll say that, right? So if you let Biden off the leash, he does do that stuff, and it's lit. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah, it's
I think
lit.
that also
But the
the
fucking
gaffes
lizards that are controlling him will not allow him to be like that. They want
well,
to suck up the fun.
and the reason why is it's I think it's those gaffes. I think like they can't really trust him to speak off the cuff for 3 minutes straight.
But it's like people don't give a shit about those gas. Like we no longer give a fuck about those gas. Maybe like
Yeah,
5 years
no,
ago
you're
we
right.
gave a shit about that. Like where Howard Dean did that fucking embarrassing, like howl or whatever, and then he was immediately like banned from like all political life. I mean, no one gives a shit anymore. I got rid of that.
Yeah, no, Biden has survived enough just mind-boggling, I don't even know, brain shortages. Um,
Like you're not black if you
at
don't
this point,
support me. That shit's amazing.
it was like, I was like, let him hear it, Biden. I like high
I mean,
energy,
and
Biden.
these fucking SJW woke skull little pieces of crap, little liberal pieces of shit. They still voted for Biden. Okay, so it's like they literally they everything that they say is bullshit. The same goes for the people that hate Israel and hate Jews, but still voted for Trump and his Jewish in-laws and whatever.
Oh
It's
yeah, a
all
vote for
bullshit.
Trump is totally vote for Jews. Yeah, no
Yeah,
question.
I'm like it's so stupid. Like no one stands for anything in this country. Let's get that right through the fucking
Yeah,
through the skulls.
yeah. I think it's like you have your preferences. That's really all it is. Like
Oh, I love it. Preferences. That's
no
a good
one
way to use it.
stands beyond like their mild preferences kind of thing where it's like and I don't really know if you can with any of these
I mean, you
politicians
can. I
because
mean, you can, but I'm like, you obviously you can't play the game though.
yeah, you won't like get anywhere with it. It'd be more of
Mm-hmm.
like a protest campaign, I guess, and career. Because it's like Bernie, for example, let's say like before 2016 or his campaign when the Hillary campaign basically, he was kind of seen as a pariah on the left by the left, right? Like by Democrats, I should say.
By Democrats and the
By
liberal
Democrats, yeah.
establishment, and not by
Sorry,
not by the left. I mean, the left has
not by
always,
the left.
loved Bernie, but obviously the left you know, has never been friendly with the Democratic Party. I mean, there have been
Yeah,
segments of it, the
yeah,
liberal left, but they're sellouts.
yeah, yeah. No, um, yeah. Well, actually, I wonder where do you think Bernie's going to go from here? Because how old is he? First of all, I'm sorry, but he's getting up there. I'm just wondering how much more
I
he has in
mean,
the tank.
he's not going to run again in 2024. I mean, we know that. I mean, the thing is, like, who's going to be his successor? I mean, I don't think anyone really can replace Bernie because no one has the same type of consistency
Yeah,
and the same type of you know
his image is pretty pure. It's hard to emulate, and that's really what threw off. Hillary Clinton like did not expect him to put nearly as strong a fight as he did in 2016. Um his like I think the Democrat establishment just assumed that
Hillary was the
his
anointed queen.
campaign, well, she was anointed queen, and but even though she had to go through Bernie, that it would be much easier and um less complicated really than it was. Um
But I
because I
think,
think
and then
even
right, go
oh
for it.
sorry, let me just say this. Even after she lost, I think there's still like kind of a tense relationship between like the Hillary wing and the Bernie wing. And to this day, it's like I think it's still a thing.
I think that's true, but I think with the whole them losing twice, and with Biden obviously reigning supreme, and being like, I'm gonna shit down on the left, because Hillary was not as like anti, like, I mean, she is anti-left as Biden was, but she didn't make that explicitly like clear with her fucking campaign.
Okay, really? Wow.
No, I mean she
I thought it
didn't.
was the reverse.
No, she didn't. No, Biden is explicitly like fuck you, I won Bernie, like I'm gonna shit you on the pants. I think Hillary actually did make an attempt.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, she was very conciliatory. Well, she needed those Bernie supporters. That shows like the extent, the clout that Bernie had. She
But I
needed his
think also,
supporters.
and I think also because Biden is very super arrogant, and I think
Yeah.
he thought that he could have beaten, like, because Biden is right that he would have won against Trump in 2016 without COVID. He would have won,
Yeah.
but not
Well,
in 2020
actually,
without COVID.
oh yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Biden was sharp back then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Straight
Biden
up,
was
I agree.
sharp. People loved his
Um,
image, and they were coming straight from Obama, and he didn't have the same type of negative clout that Hillary had, and he's also a man.
and yeah, exactly. He's also a man. He's also a white male. So the extent that Trump won the white vote and the white male vote, I think Biden
Would
wouldn't
have surpassed Biden.
would have
Yeah.
done better than Hillary did in those categories for sure.
I mean, look, he fucking won the Rust Belt.
Did he,
I mean,
Chris?
obviously, yeah. I mean, oh god.
No, I think Biden did get, I think he put up a better fight than I expected, but I
I don't think so.
do,
I think this is COVID. I think this whole thing is because of COVID, and the Biden presidency is just gonna be like everyone's gonna question the legitimacy at every turn. I mean, obviously because of the whole voter fraud. I mean, I don't think the voter fraud is real, but I think like the legitimacy of him actually being president is something that people are eventually gonna contend with on, like, how much is this is because the Democratic Party coalesced to get rid of Bernie? How much of this is because of COVID? And then obviously there's going to be
yeah.
Republican governors and Republicans themselves. I think the Democratic Party is fucked at the moment
Yeah, well, actually, wait. Well, how are they? If they won,
because
shouldn't they be
look
happy?
look at what the fuck happened. Biden won with 8 million votes, and still people question the legitimacy of this election, dude. I'm like, just imagine
Oh,
what the next election is going to be like. It's going to be very close the next election because the Democrats are
oh,
going to do terrible in the next election.
yeah, you're right. And they don't. The Democrats don't, and same with the Republicans. Like they're both establishment. They want this to go on forever.
Yeah,
So
but I think what
the
I'm trying to
tenser it
get to is that
becomes.
yeah, but the thing is that the Republicans now, because if we can establish that 8 million votes is the only way to actually try to establish like that this is legitimate. If the Democrats lose like another win another election by like 2 million votes, this time they can actually take it to the Supreme Court and they might have a case for it because people might be like, yeah, this is like 2020 all over again, even worse.
Yeah,
And
yeah. No, it's definitely a crack in in that direction, right? It's like we're setting a precedent. Obviously, like the case, the big Supreme Court case, whatever got shut down immediately. If the same shit happens again and it's even closer, maybe they'll
they'll
be
have a better
kind of forced.
chance. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll kind of be forced to take it. Um,
I mean, it's
because
not they'll be
if
forced,
enough,
they'll take it. No, they'll immediately grab for it.
well, the reason why I think they would kind of need to be forced is I think they're really uncomfortable with like that case. Like I think everyone, um, the entire Supreme Court would rather like not have their name kind of deciding that in history books like
I mean,
forever.
really, I mean, they didn't give a shit when that happened in 2000. Like, and and it was between Gore
That
and
was on a
Bush.
much smaller scale, right? Wasn't that on like a very small scale
Right,
in Florida?
but Austin, like we literally had like like this like the fucking like like thousands of people like marching into the Capitol House hasn't happened since 18 fucking 14 when the British fucking
Yeah.
invaded.
Yeah,
So
no, no,
what I'm
I
trying to say is
agree.
that what I'm trying to say is that it's now we've gotten to like the numbers are even bigger now of how much you can contest an election.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, and I think that even though Democrats, as of right now, right, they won everything, they're sitting pretty. Um,
Barely.
barely.
I mean, you have Joe Manuchin, being like being now the fucking uh, Mitch McConnell, because I mean, it was always going to be like that. If it wasn't Mitch McConnell, it was going to be someone else, like being like, no, I'm sorry, you can't get all those stuff that you want.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's the establishment on both sides is kind of happy that Biden won actually.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
do
like I
you
mean,
think do you think McConnell really wanted Trump to win over Biden?
no, I don't think so. I think he wanted he got everything he wanted. He got it, like a
Yeah,
6-3
exactly.
like stack court. He got the tax cuts. He got
McConnell's a
everything he wanted.
legend.
Yeah,
McConnell is a legend. This guy is
McConnell has
crazy.
secured his legacy for for a century.
Look at everything he did. If Trump is really done, if this is it, he really used this guy to just pump boom everything out of him. That's amazing.
Yeah, he did.
He's
McConnell's
a con
legacy
man,
is
right?
cemented for 100 years. For 100 years,
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, big
Um,
time. Like he really, reversed the trend of this country. Like like from the New Deal all the way to like to this Gilded Age bullshit that he wanted. So 100%, I 100% pledge
not
my loyalty to
until
the
we're
Trump
like
vote.
Hooverville status, he won't stop.
Exactly, exactly. Which will probably be in 20 years, but who cares by then? By then, McConnell will be dead, and he'll be like
Until we're
like
Brazil.
enshrined in, yeah, he'll be enshrined in
All
some
right,
kind
he's
of
right
like gold encrusted tomb.
in Brazil. um, damn. So okay, let's go back to the storming of the Capitol, right? So,
Yeah.
um, they're in there. It I don't know. It ends. It fizzles out. Whatever. Everyone gets arrested. Blah blah blah. Um, ballots are counted that night, and boom, Pence betrayed Trump. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew that this fucking loser still cares more about the Constitution.
So Chris, answer this for everyone. Is Pence a traitor?
Yes, he's a traitor, and like lawyer Linwood said, he needs to have his head cut off.
Does he need to be executed by a firing squad?
Yes, I agree. Yes, 100%.
I was really surprised. So does Linwood's like meet me outside, bitch? Like he really wants to fight Mike Pence, huh?
I don't know. I think he's just being a fucking psychopath. I mean, I don't think he means any of the shit he's saying. I think he's just an edge lord.
Yeah, but if Linwood is just a troll, that's kind of amazing. I would love to have like Linwood's job. You just make up some goofy shit and just tweet about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all he does. But
It's just kind of incoherent, vague like tweets that are, I mean, half real, half pure conjecture, and you just post it. That's it. That's what you're doing.
I mean, it's great. But um, yeah, no, I mean, Biden will be the president, but it's gonna be amazing. Everything that's gonna happen prior afterwards, because I think this thing that um, you know, with all the people that are being arrested, all these people that are being put on the no-fly list, watching that one video of that one guy crying about the fact, like, guys, this shouldn't be happening to me. They call me a fucking terrorist. I think this is just the beginning of like where how people are saying like, oh well, they shouldn't. I'm glad that they're treating them like this. Like, imagine if they were Black Lives Matter protesters. I'm like, that's true. They would have treated them like shit if they're Black Lives Matter protesters. But I think that this is the quest, the hunger for vengeance and for bloodshed. I think that this is a telling sign that they're gonna start treating like these people in a way like, like, oh well, if you want like what's the word, um like, like retribution, like justice, like for retribution or whatever. Why don't we just make it that white people get the same type of punishment as black people?
I I don't even know what to think is coming for the like whole like race relation question under a Biden administration.
I mean, I think
Because
that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna start labeling like domestic terrorists as like like being equivalent to being like the terrorists that we would have like in Gitmo and stuff like that. I think that's like, because I think ultimately in the end you're gonna have to contend with the whole fact it's like not everyone can be considered white under the system.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, but I was really gonna get at this. Because this was also actually this is something I wanted to bring up. I thought that this went by super quietly. Jacob Blake in Kenosha, right? The cop wasn't charged who
Mhm.
shot that guy. I was really surprised that like nothing happened. There was no like riots or anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the I think both sides are, have doubled down to the whole thing that they want cops. I mean, liberals do not like, the whole, defund the police and stuff like that. They just want them to like, they want them to have like these shitty reforms that obviously mean nothing. And then with the right, it's like they have a paradoxical relationship with the police side, like where, you know, they support them when they beat the shit out of Antifa and Black Lives Matter, but they're hesitant to be cuddly with them whenever they want to storm the capitals because I mean, for one, they're not beating the shit out of them like they would like with like leftist groups, but at the same time they're standing in their way of being able to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, the right needs to realize this, like you're saying, the police, well, you think they're your friends, and I mean, if you're taking like I don't know a political science 101 class or something and looking at um left wing versus right wing institutions, like yes, police are usually a right wing institution, right? They're enforcing norms of the state. What the right fails to realize for the most part in this country is that um, the police are basically soldiers of um, establishment capitalism, which sometimes is in Trump and Republicans' favor when for that crowd, sorry, of their supporters. Um,
But all these people are
so like
capitalists in the end, though. I mean, like, even
yeah,
though
that's no,
capitalism
that's
isn't
true.
just
That's true. But like what I'm getting at is so for example, like let's say if a bunch of Trump supporters tried to storm Facebook, the headquarters, the police would be there defending Facebook, right?
of course.
Like you're saying, it's capitalism. They're the bodyguards of capitalism. Um the Trump supporters are gonna be heated. They're gonna be like, where's my freedom? Where's my freedom? Right? Like why can't I destroy this office or something? Like so in that sense, like they're right wing, but they are on opposite sides with the police.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like these people. It's a paradoxical relationship because they want to dismantle the state, but they want to keep the state like in a way that is okay with them. So basically, they just want to kill the cultural groups that piss them off. So like black people or people that are gay or whatever. So the problem though is like they like in the end they can't do that because of uh, it's I mean the only other thing they can implement is fascism, but fascism still in the end wants to keep maintain the power of capital. So it's like what in the end can you fucking do? I mean that's the problem with the right. They're like they're never going to be able to get like ultimately all the goals that they want. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's mostly, and this is funny. I keep going back to this. Um, since the right is generally like wealthy, they're generally like pro capitalism, right?
Yeah,
That's the right. Um, what makes like Trump different than let's say Ted Cruz or Jeb Bush, right? Why didn't those why doesn't any other Republican have like fans like this? Um,
Because Trump
what separated
has like
Trump?
the Trump
Because
has
Trump,
like
wait,
the
hold on, let me say
yeah,
it.
go for it.
Because
Yeah.
Trump was all about owning the libs, right?
No,
He
no, but
just
you're
brought an
also
extra
not getting
dimension
no,
to it.
but also the problem though is like I mean these people also try to own the libs, but the problem though is like they have like a cringy white like a rich person type of like owning the libs like and a lot of these people
Yeah,
are part of that type of establishment and Trump is
yeah,
kind of too, but the difference is that Trump has like this almost like working class person type of like affect to him like to his personality.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
exactly.
guy legitimately eats
He's
McDonald's. Like he really does. It's like it's not like Mitt Romney where it was like completely like forced and fake when we saw Mike Carl's Jr.
I think, I mean, I always go back to Andrew Jackson. I mean, as everyone else does, right? But you think about kind of like the cowboy thing. That's basically what he's doing with like the presidency, right?
I mean, but the thing is, like, that's how Trump actually acts. Like, I mean, because some people
Oh
like,
yeah, no, I don't
fake
mean
it.
to say it's fake. I think that
Yeah,
he's genuinely a maverick in his life. If you look at his business career, his entire life, the guy's like, he's always kind of over the top like that.
yeah. I mean, and people like that flamboyance, like that type of, like that the type of affect that he has. So, I mean, like I said, it'll be hard to replace someone like Trump, but
Yeah,
getting back,
it's kind of like The
yeah.
Office. It's like in The Office when Michael left. It's like, wow, this show's gonna suck.
No, but getting back to the whole, the whole the right. I mean, the problem with the right is that they control like these people that support the right is that the problem though is that the right for the most part controls like most levels of power. The only parts of this government, this country they don't control is the media, the cultural stuff. They don't control that.
hmm I think yeah, yeah, it's really just culture. But ironically, in many ways, like the reason Trump's fan base is so loyal to him is he did and economically it's kind of like mostly the same as any other generic Republican. Um, but he gained ground for Republicans in that cultural front that the Democrats or just the left, I guess, dominates.
But did
Trump
he
was kind
really? Other
of,
than I mean, the only thing
well, maybe not
that
gain
he
ground, maybe not gain ground, I should say, but just that he aggressively attacked, right? He wasn't polite.
oh, I see
That's
what
pretty
you mean.
much it, right?
He
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 fought
was
back, I
engaged. Like
guess.
yeah, yeah. Like he pretty much like lived rent free in the mind of liberals, and something that they wish they could do as well. Because for the conservative mind, in the conservative world, the yes, they control everything except for the media, and in that case, liberals live rent free in the mind of conservatives. So for a long time, conservatives did not live rent free in the minds of liberals, but for 4 years they did, and they loved it.
And it was amazing. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
it was
There's few
amazing. It was
things
amazing.
I do, I love trolling of all political stripes, right? Um, right. Like seeing these Trump supporters who are mad that they can't fly home now, and they're crying and stuff. I think it's hilarious.
Yes, it's hilarious. I love it too. I'm like, now it's like the reverse is happening. So it's kind of fun. So maybe this will be the thing where every 4 years it just changes of who's being butthurt.
So they want to allow the cake shop not to sell the cake to the gay guy, but the planes aren't allowed to discriminate against Trump supporters. I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Um,
I mean,
no, but seeing that and then I will say it's hilarious, but nothing's better than crying liberals. I think that's my most my favorite triggered um demographic right there. Like a white woman with like short blonde hair or something, just freaking out in a Walmart about um I don't know their skin product section is I think it's in a league of its own.
I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Like seeing the conservatives at the moment freak out because like it's very pathetic because like I mean it's in both cases it's pathetic because like it's these people that have never really have faced any real type of
Real adversity, like
real
so
adversity. There we go. That's the real thing. Yeah.
the kind of person who would cry from a tweet by the president. It's like, wow, you're really like in tears right now about a
But it's not,
tweet.
yeah, but not just them, but also the people that are crying about the fact that, oh, that they can no longer, fly on an airplane, or the fact that they're banned from Twitter or whatever. I'm like, why is that something to cry over? I'm
Yeah,
like,
no,
I
no,
don't.
I agree. I was about to get to that.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
just on one end, right? We're just talking because we're both talking about white people here in general. Um,
Yeah.
white liberals versus white conservatives, because usually it's white liberals who are triggered. Or we're usually talking about that, I guess, like triggering white liberals about something or other.
Yeah.
Um, so like just imagine like a 30-year-old feminist who's like crying when she reads a Trump tweet any given night, right?
Yeah.
And then you compare that to like these Trump supporters right now who are mad that they can't riot and then go home on the plane. Um,
Or they can't shit post on Twitter anymore.
they can't shit post on Twitter anymore, which might be even more painful. One of the hardest things, one of the hardest things to give up. Um, uh, it's on both sides. We're both talking about privileged white people here, who, if this is like the worst thing in your life, that again you felt the need to cry about a tweet from someone, or you're surprised that you can't just riot in the Capitol and then go home peacefully with no repercussion. It just shows you the degree of, I don't know. It's insane.
These are the people that are scared or want a civil war so badly. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, these are the first people that are probably gonna get killed.
Oh yeah, no, these are like provocateurs who, I think, like, so for example, that Trump protester, whatever, girl who died in the Capitol,
Yeah.
obviously she didn't walk into the Capitol that day and walk in literally, um, knowing that she was gonna die that day. So it's like not everyone. I think most people are just kind of, they are like hardcore fans, right? But no one really wants to be on the front line. But that kind of, that individual logic you have when you go into that situation kind of gets thrown out the window in like the heat of the moment, and when you're like, some of these people are just like rabid fans and they just get, I don't know, riled up and stuff, and they end up like shooting cops or something, or like how did that cop die? Hitting him with the fire hydrant, right?
Yeah, they
um
bludgeoned him to death at the fire hydrant. That was some crazy ass shit.
you have to love how crowds just escalate things.
Yeah, no, how did that one chick die from like a rubber bullet? Wow. Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought the Democrats were cucks.
I, takes all kinds, I guess.
It's all kinds. No, I was really thinking also for the kinds of people who actually did show up, um, or even not even those who stormed the Capitol, but really just any Trump supporter who, like, kind of the hardcore Trump supporters who are like waving the flags and just like standing on corners and, I don't know, yeah, just showing their Trump stuff and just caping for Trump. I bet he thinks they're idiots. Like he's like, what are you even doing here? You're not getting anything.
Yeah,
And
no, I honestly
I
want to
bet
know
he
what the.
doesn't even like those people. Like,
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. What he wants is to get the, you know, the attention of, those people that he actually talks about, like, because before he even started the fucking, like, talking about that, you have to take action, you have to, secure your democracy. He was complaining about Oprah Winfrey for fucking 20 minutes,
what was he saying about Oprah?
saying that Oprah was very mean to me, or that she was full of shit, or that that type of crap. I'm like, you people don't register on his radar. Like, people that Trump cares about are people that are other celebrities, people like the same status as him. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He probably cringes at the stupid shit you do. He probably doesn't give a shit about the Q shaman or all these other fucking losers.
Yeah, you might as well. Well, I think those who take action, like for example, I don't know, just people like retweeting like his stuff. I think he does like appreciate that, I guess, or like he needs that, spread his message, whatever. but I just mean that the kind of people who just like wave his flag on a corner, um, they're just total rubes.
Yeah, it's
Like he's just swindling them. I don't know. They just buy his shit and then vote for him, but they act like he really did anything for them. And it's like, no, he just put on the show for you, and it was cool, and he owned the libs. But how did anything change from you 4 years ago to today that he really had much to do with?
I don't know. I think it's the same way how liberals, like I always say, like it's how liberals see Obama. Like they think like you changed my life, sir, and Obama's like, I don't even know who
Oh,
the fuck you are.
yeah, he says, "Who are you?"
No, because I mean, there's fucking because like there's a difference between Obama and Hillary. Hillary, she fucking goes to people's birthday parties, like if they do like the evil demonic shit she asked for, like like, oh thank you my queen, and it's like, yes you may kiss my ring. I'm like, I'm so glad that you work for me. Obama is like, he like shows up and like does something for someone, and then 20 years later, like, you changed my life, sir. I'm like, get away from me, you freak. And I think Trump is the same way too. I'm like, people just, like venerate him, and he doesn't give a shit about these people. Like these, like it's like you said, these people are marks and rubes. He doesn't care.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see also what his relationship. So he loses, right? What will happen with Trump and his base? Like, what's next? What's what's gonna happen?
They're gonna be like the wandering Ronin, and just without a master, and just go to
Yeah,
like
it's
castle
okay. So
castle.
he's off of Twitter, right? I
Yes.
assume what else is he banned from?
Well, Parler's off of Amazon, Google, and everything else.
Yeah,
So
Parlor's done. Parlor's on life support.
yeah, Parler's on life support. He's been banned from basically everything, from Facebook, from Instagram, from Snapchat, to basically everything.
So like realistically, what is he gonna do to try to still be relevant, like on social media somehow, or in an online capacity? Is he
He's
just
gonna
gonna
start his
post
own
videos like on his website?
streaming service. He's gonna start his own
Really?
streaming service. Maybe. I mean, but it would be great if he did. I mean, I bet he would probably pull in
Oh
Disney
my God.
numbers.
Yeah, hell yeah. I would tune in here and there. I mean, if it was entertaining, if it
Trump
was actually
Plus.
entertaining. Oh, what if he charges for it? Okay, no, if he's gonna charge for it, I'm out.
I mean, I'm not gonna pay for it, but his fan base would. I'm like, I mean, like over. I mean, they would easily do it over Disney.
Yeah, yeah. $3 a month for a subscription or what?
Exactly. And you get $4 if you cancel anything from that is owned by the nasty New York Times or CNN or something like
Or Rosie O'Donnell.
that.
But yeah, no, I really think so. So like, let's say he does do that. Um, what is he? What's he gonna be up to? Like what's I'm interested to find out. Because I feel like there's so many different possibilities for like what comes next. Um, and how he will interact with the supporters, what like his goals are, I guess.
I think the goal will probably be now to wait for 4 years so he can take over again. I mean, like I said, he's in a great position to basically retake the White House in 2024 if he runs again. But who knows? I mean,
Yeah,
it it,
yeah,
it
I can see
seemed
it.
more like he did this, just to become the most influential person of all time,
The greatest troll of all time.
possibly.
Definitely. Who else? Who else is close, Chris?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm saying his motives. I'm not talking about, did he accomplish that? I mean, he did accomplish that. But I'm talking
Oh,
about
okay,
where those
okay,
actually
yeah.
his motives. Like, what
I'll
what
say,
were his real motives for why he wanted to become president? Was it because he wanted more fame and popularity more you know than any other human being on the planet? I mean, he got that.
yeah,
Or is it because like there was some kind of like weird weird disgusting thing to prove to daddy, like like where that's the thing that drove like Obama and Kamala Harris. I mean, who knows? Maybe that also drove Trump.
yeah,
Maybe almost
yeah.
everybody that tries to become a president has some kind of daddy issues.
Yeah, that's true, huh? um, yeah, you ask the QAnon people, they'll say he's doing it to save the republic. So it's one of those, right?
That's like the biggest, like that's the dumbest one ever. I'm like, those people just like need to be self-medicated constantly. Those are the people that those are the people that not only should they have their own talk show, they should also be on
that's
on the CIA list.
I was gonna say that that's Lynn Wood. Like really, like, I feel like Lynn Wood kind of encapsulated that that
QAnon
type of
mindset.
person. Yeah, and just the bravado, like kind of the way that their stuff is written, like it's just so over the top, and like everything is like the end of the world, kind of.
But is
Um,
Linwood legit? That's a problem.
well, I don't know, but that's my whole point. That let's say
Because
Linwood
I
is a
think the
complete
QAnon people
huckster.
are legit, though. I think the most QAnon people are legit.
Oh yeah, no, I do too. I do too. I'm just saying, let's say Linwood's a complete huckster. The
Yeah,
guy's
yeah.
just doing this for clout, just getting rich off this or something. I don't know. Um, and he's not for real.
Hmm.
That either way, he still did like really. He was a big name in like a movement. And he created like he helped create a culture, a style of like, I don't know, political activism on social media that's going to be used, whether anyone likes it or not, um, in some ways by like Democrats and Republicans. I think the fact that he showed that his like rhetoric and, I don't know, that conspiratorial mindset, people buy into it. It has a certain level of power. And I think Republicans and Democrats are going to see that and use it.
I mean, the problem though is it's going to be Republicans at their benefit to gain. The Democratic Party, like I said, they're fucked. They have they were essentially they rebranded themselves as the anti-Trump party, and eventually, when Trump outlives out, I mean, not outlives them. I mean, obviously Trump will die first, but once Trump is gone or he's no longer relevant, the Democratic Party is basically fucked because they have nothing else going for them.
Well, let's see. How old is Obama's kids? I think Obama's kids are next up, Chris. I don't
They're
know who
not
else
old
they
enough.
got
They're
until that.
18,
Yeah.
so like they're not going to be able to milk them. I think
How,
this political project is done. I think hopefully they go the way of the Whigs, but who knows?
how about Greta?
What's that?
Greta.
Greta's not fucking the U.S. citizen. They're not gonna. She's not gonna be allowed to
Well,
become
neither is
president.
Obama.
That's true, but Obama was black, so we're not gonna do that for a white woman.
Oh my God. How about an autistic person?
We've probably had several autistic presidents already. It's just like we used to not diagnose
Who?
autism as everything.
Oh, good point. Yeah, historically, right? We
Yeah.
wouldn't really know, I guess, to a certain extent at least. What if
What president could
FDR
have
was
been
that
autistic?
was
No,
FDR
FDR was not
autistic?
autistic. No, FDR was not autistic.
Kennedy wasn't, right? I
No,
hope
Kennedy
not.
wasn't. Kennedy was just some kind of decrepit, pervert.
Oh, you don't care for Kennedy? I'll take him over most presidents. I'll say that.
I mean, I'll take him
I'm not
over
like
most
it.
presidents, but he was a
Yeah.
decrepit pervert. I mean, he had like some kind
Oh
of
yeah, yeah,
weird skin disease and like he was dying like
yeah,
of like some kind of like bone fragment or whatever. So I mean, he was a decrepit pervert.
yeah. Okay,
And I mean,
facts, facts.
I'm not talking about decrepit like as in like he's like Biden, as in like Biden is actually like senile and like like a fossil.
So okay, so wait, I gotta say this, Chris. Biden is basically a senile Chad.
Hmm.
Straight up. That's what he is.
Yeah, he is. And like
I
I
just thought
said,
it
the
was
fact
hilarious.
I mean, the problem though is like, where's the Democratic Party going to go? After this, I mean, they're not going to take AOC. I mean, she's a dead end. I mean, the liberal media wants to try to make her into something, but obviously the elites in the party will not allow that.
You don't think Kamala has a chance of kind of being the face of the team?
No, I mean, she's gonna get fucking owned. She'll never be president unless Biden dies. Unless Biden dies, she'll never be president because she's just awful. Like she's uncharismatic, she's boring. She's only gotten there lucky because like for God's sake, the only reason why she became the senator of our state was because Loretta Sanchez was a fucking windbag.
All true. I just think that the fact that she's vice president right now and has this platform, I'm thinking back to Nixon and George Bush Sr. I didn't think either of them were particularly special. But I think they just got so much clout by being vice president that
Nixon is
that
literally a political maverick. Harris is literally just being
okay, no, no,
pushed
no.
in by the Democratic Party.
I think Nixon's a goat in that sense, but I'm just talking about as a popular figure, how good
And
he
you
is.
can't even compare George H.W. Bush, basically the fucking lion of the CIA, the man that probably killed John F. Kennedy. You can't compare
Yeah.
these two fucking goat titans to fucking Kamala Harris, who basically just
No,
got
no,
lucky by everyone
no.
pushing her to that position.
She well, pushing her how, Chris? Are you saying she went horizontal to go vertical?
I mean, I'm saying Bubake
um
parties. Yes, I am saying that.
no, again, I get that. I totally agree. Bush and Nixon are political legends. Right. Some of they're
Harris is a
superstars.
fucking joke. She fucking lost to Tulsi Gabbard. No, she's never gonna amount to anything.
But wait, let me just say this. I'm just saying, let's say she's basically the president for the most part
No,
this
I can
term.
actually see Pete Buttigieg before her. I mean, that's how bad Kamala Harris is.
All
It
right.
doesn't
All right.
matter.
I I just
She's
thought she would gain
scored
clout and pure
like a
popularity.
no, she's not. She just has her insane K-Hive like fandom that that is trying to become the liberal version of QAnon, but will never have the same type of numbers because it's literally limited to wine to insane wine cave bombs.
And you have to be PC. That's one thing
Exactly.
that QAnon has going for it. They don't have so much cultural regulation.
Exactly.
They just have more pure freedom to make shit up.
Exactly. They're very it's a brand a wide range coalition.
Yeah, it's fascinating because one thing about QAnon, so many of the males in it at least are secular themselves, but it's kind of like a hard right wing um movement, and there obviously is a Christian like Proud Boy wing and that kind of thing. But it's really interesting to see how so many secular people are like rallying toward this.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
you need to have religion. I mean, that's why secularism is a dud. It can never work. You need to have a
yeah,
god.
yeah, no, no,
Sorry,
exactly.
white
That
people,
it's
you have to have it.
you have to have it.
Atheism is
Can't do without it.
atheism is a fucking meme that was invented by Richard Dawkins because he's a fucking nerd and got butthurt that people didn't give a shit about the bees. Fuck the bees.
He probably no. This is what happened. Chris Dawkins probably had a crush on some nun, and it was like the only girl who wanted to marry him, and she turned him down.
I love it. Where the fuck did you get this, bro?
No, I'm saying that's probably just what it is. I just imagine Dawkins being like such a nice, like smart, like just like nerd, and then there's like some total, some fine ass nun who's like dirty on the low, and like Hawkins has a crush on her, asks her out, boom, gets rejected, and from then on he's like evolution, the God delusion, or whatever. I don't know whichever books he was doing. All those guys.
What about
There's got to be some kind of. There's got to be
what about
something more
Hitchens?
to
What
it.
about Christopher Hitchens? I mean, his brother is obviously a
Hitch,
pimp
yeah,
alpha. Yeah.
Hitch is probably like gay or bi on the low, and he probably
Well, he's
got
dead
like.
now, so yeah, I could
Oh
probably see
yeah,
it.
no. Yeah. I'm saying when he was alive. So his whole beef with religion, he probably got bullied or something for it.
Probably. Yeah, but like I said, it's bullshit. You have to have a god, and you have to at least have some rituals, and that's what
Yeah,
Q is basically filling in. I'm like, and that's why liberals, your secular bullshit is a bitter poisoned apple,
and
and now you're
exactly,
drinking the
and
poison.
also why Trump was so much more how he part of how he was so successful. I really think that Trump, in a way, for many of his supporters, um, played a role that was nearly religious. Like you look at this guy and he fills like a void in your life that a lot of secular males who are like conservative have, I guess. So the difference, like part of the reason, right, that Trump ends up destroying Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz,
Mhm.
the rest of the Republican Party and really dominating it, taking over it. Um, he's it's almost like a preacher. This guy is transcending secular politics and like taking this whole presidency and political celebrity thing to a new level. Like
You're
he's
part of a divine mission, and he's leading you
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
He's leading you to
exactly. And then
providence.
and then QAnon it just ratchets that up a whole nother level where it's like he's literally sent by God to like kill the pedophiles, like
Yeah,
he's gonna
he's the
save
hidden
you.
imam. He's the 13th. He's the 13th of the twelvers.
Yeah, Trump is like fucking Muhammad or something. Damn. But yeah, I think that that's something that's gonna be really hard for the left to emulate
It's
because
like Shia Islam, where he has like Isa, Jesus with him, and they're gonna go on their mission to to finally kill the Iblis.
um I think the left, since it's like more pro abortion, right? More pro like LGBT, etc. I don't think they're really gonna be able to like use religion to that. Well, to really use religion,
I mean, you can. I
yeah,
mean,
just
it's just that this country doesn't have a tradition of using that. I mean, obviously, you had liberation theology in Latin
no,
America.
no, I agree, but I'm saying I also think there's too much tension with LGBT community as well as like let's say for example um single single parents or people who have kids like outside of wedlock, like these are people who Democrats who are much more likely to vote Democrat.
Yeah,
um and the cultural norms um usually promoted in a church, right? It's like marriage, having kids after marriage.
but we've already established that Trump isn't, like obviously, what we would consider, a traditional
Yeah,
person. So
well
you
that
can't create, like a religion like for the left. The problem though is that the left has pretty much has been wholly anti, has pretty much still dead set on, being married to secularism.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
technocracy is
exactly.
still stronger on the left. Trump was like a rebuke to technocracy in so many ways. Like just his rhetoric, first of all, speaking off the cuff, and then like his diplomacy style, for example, like sending in Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner's his fucking like advisor or whatever. Like what the fuck?
I mean, he
Like
nominated like stupid friends like to be like the ambassadors to countries.
yeah, who remember Rex and then Rex like dummy Rex or whatever? The
Yeah,
what was he,
Rex Tilden or
Secretary of
whatever.
State?
Yeah,
Yeah, Rex. Say it again.
Rex Tilden, I think his name was.
Tilden. Yeah, whatever his name was. He was like an oil executive, right?
Exactly.
Like it's like it's just so it was just a total rebuke to the Obama era's like norms of expertise and political correctness and this like secular do the right thing. Um yeah, technocracy. Yeah, so Trump's administration was just like a total rebuke of that. Um I'm wondering how Democrats will kind of revert back to Obama, like you know how Biden's supposed to be like Obama 2.0, right? This
Yeah,
administration, just like a repeat of Obama. Um, I'm wondering basically if it will be or how it's gonna feel different and be less successful,
it's going to be
or
less successful
more.
because we're going to have the specter of Trump lying in the background. Because remember, Obama's thing is basically going to be like oh no, neoliberalism didn't fail. It's we're going to make sure that with this charismatic black guy, that we're going to make sure that we show everyone that it actually does work and all that stuff. But with Trump, we kind of realized that oh, it was a facade. It was just a bunch of bullshit. So we're gonna have the Trump spectrum in the background.
Yeah, yeah, and I see that. And Trump will be kind of like this boogeyman who's always hanging in the back. They're gonna always. It's funny because Democrats are always talking about how Trump is obsessed with like Obama and like Hillary in the past, right? Like he hasn't gotten over things. It's gonna be exactly the same with Biden and Kamala. Like they're gonna be referencing Trump and like taking shots at him and stuff. for sure. It's gonna be like a running joke or whatever, just like a theme. In the exact same way. They're totally gonna be like disrespectful.
Exactly, because it's just
And as they
basically,
should be, as they should be, as they should
yeah.
be.
But the
they
but
should
the
they should go they should go even harder.
yeah, but the problem though is like it's like one of them is trying to rebuke neoliberalism, and the other one is trying to reinforce it. But at the end of the day, we're going to keep on living in this neoliberal hellhole.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, that's not going to change.
Yeah, it's not going to change,
The only thing
folks.
that
I
will
mean,
change that, the only thing that will change that is kind of like if things like that, the Capitol being stormed, continuously get worse.
which it probably
Because
will,
for
but we're
which
probably
it
going to
probably
have to,
will.
yeah. But the thing is, like, we're probably going to have a more crackdown on these people. So January 20th should be fun stuff.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be amazing. I personally can't wait. Actually, it's gonna be great. I think right now
Maybe it'll be like Kent
is
State type of crazy shit, like where they start
oh
shooting people.
hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I think this is one of the best happenings we've had in a while. I'll say that. I'm really enjoying it. I think this is popcorn time.
Yeah, this is popcorn time. I mean, it's just people have, they're in a precarious state, but at the same time, they don't understand the heavy hand of the state. So people are, they're both freaking out, and they're also doing theatrics. But at the same time, the state wants to, showcase its power and leverage it against the peons.
The cucks.
Yeah, the cucks in a sense. I mean,
No, I
not
actually,
all
you
of
know
them are
what, Chris,
cucks.
I
Not all
will
of them
say,
are cucks,
yeah,
though.
I was about to say that if you're really like committed enough to die for Trump,
I don't think a
maybe
lot
you're
of these
not
people
a
are though.
cuck.
I don't think a lot of
No,
these
you're
people
right.
are.
You're right.
I think
You're
a
right.
lot of them
Most of them
are just
aren't.
full of shit. But I
Yeah.
think the ones that go on those weird, like the Tree of Life synagogue type of like massacres, those are the people that are actually willing to die for Trump.
The
Those are not
few, the
cucks.
strong, the
Yeah, the
proud.
few, the strong, the brave. I mean, we don't endorse that. That was anti-Semitic what that fucker did. But those are the real people that are willing to lay down their life for Trump, and there are a few of those people, and they will act up. I mean, and that's just the reality of it. I mean, and you can't. And I mean, we could have sensible solutions, such as we could try to, have, you know, re-roll back like all the neoliberal austerity measures that started under, Reagan, continued under Bush, Clinton, Bush
No,
Jr.
Chris. Instead of doing all that, we're just gonna do like a $300 unemployment bonus and call it a day.
Yeah, that's literally all we're doing. God damn, I fucking hate this country. No wonder we're gonna keep getting more of these fucking, these who is that one guy that did that one shooting in Texas, in Texas University?
Oh, oh yeah,
This,
this the sniper, the
yeah,
sniper.
the sniper guy. We're gonna keep having those fucking psychos like every fucking like couple months under the Biden administration.
Yeah, and I think violence is only going to beget more violence. It's going to be kind of a snowball effect.
It's gonna be like a spectacle,
Assuming,
where we have like it's like a blood ritual sport.
yeah, exactly. And it's like a sport, sort of a religion. It's like you're fighting for your side, almost like I mean, to me, it makes a mockery of ISIS. I don't mean to even disrespect ISIS by comparing what they do to um how lame American politics is, but but it's almost like the people who are doing that, that level of devotion where you're literally fighting for your side.
I mean, the thing is, like, this thing will get crazy once you actually have like a more working class people get involved in this. But the problem
Yeah,
though is like, when will that happen? That's the
yeah, it's
question.
it's gonna have to. We keep going back to it. I think it's gonna have to involve um a bigger economic component with the elite. There's gonna have to be some kind of economic pressure um for certain wings of the elite to want to rebel. Um, I think that's kind of like the key missing component because right now, even the Republican elite, even if you're like a hardcore like Trump, patriot, proud boy, millionaire or something. It's like, why would you rebel right now? Like your life is good. Um, what's really gonna be the tipping point for you that would get you to to want to join an actual like armed rebellion?
Well, it's not
There's
even
gonna
them.
be,
Like we have it might just have to be that the elites, like, like, because I think the elites know that they can't keep pressuring the plebes to the point where eventually it's like where they start, revolting on mass, because they know that, like, if you keep, like, cutting their hours, cutting their salaries, like,
but Chris, when has that really happened in American history though, where like a successful like working class rebellion?
well, it's not successful, but I'm talking about they still feel the specter of violence, especially being acted on their property and
Okay.
stuff like that. And that has happened.
Or
That has
even
happened.
okay, I should say like working class like kind of rebellion.
Well, it
Maybe not
has.
even
That's
successful.
that's the reason why. I mean, it wasn't successful, but that's kind of the stuff like where you had like coalitions, like, like of communists and socialists, working together,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
scared them to actually do the New Deal. But at the same time, right now, the elites don't have that type of pressure to be like, like where, maybe we should stop doing all this shit.
Yeah. Okay. True. 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 Um, yeah, actually that makes me wonder because Antifa is usually communist, right? I'm wondering how comfortable the Democrat Party is with Antifa because I'm sure
Oh,
that they
they're
were
pretty comfortable
fine.
right now. That right now they're comfortable with them because they think Antifa is a joke for the most part.
Yeah, and I think they should feel that way. I really don't
I
don't
mean,
think
look,
they're
most of them voted
as
for Biden. They're fucking hucksters.
yeah, how can you be a revolutionary and vote for Biden? I'm sorry.
Exactly, you can't be. Sorry,
What
fuck
a
you, no.
joke.
You're a joke.
um
You're a sweet old man, but you're a joke.
no, I just think I'm wondering how kind of like close or aligned they will be with them. Or are they going to be sort of adversaries? I'm sure they're not really going to even like address them. They're going to be like in the background, not going to be a real theme in Biden's like speeches or anything.
Oh hell no, of
Um,
course not.
but I'm just wondering, yeah, if there's going to be any kind of like friction or any noteworthy like friction, I should say that like it's going to amount to anything.
Well, in my opinion, it's gonna be to the it's gonna happen when conditions deteriorate to the point where these people, maybe or maybe not, Antifa can take advantage of this, but eventually we're gonna reach the point, if things continue on the trajectory that they are, and they seem that they are, because both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have no incentive to stop, the trajectory it's going on in this country. Um, Something will have to happen where people will, like, you know, get mad enough, and that they will demand things, and maybe they might, start, like, planning with some groups, but who the fuck knows? And maybe we might be at the point where it's already too late. Maybe we've already entered this techno feudal, authoritarian hell where we're all going to be serfs, and there's nothing we can do to stop this. Mark Zuckerberg is going to be, our lord, and if he wants to have his disgusting, like lizardy, like, way with your wife, you have no choice, because if not, you'll be permabanned from Facebook's
Chris, he's
servers.
Mark Zuckerberg, okay? That dude is not banging anyone's wife. It's quite the reverse.
Ew! I would never
And
want.
he won't stop.
Who the hell
No,
wants
no.
Mark Zuckerberg's wife?
No one does. And that's why, Chris, I'm gonna explain it to you right now. He's
Okay.
so he's so hurt that no one else wants his wife that the sick fuck gets off by trying to vaccinate the world. He thinks of that needle going into your arm like him doing you.
Oh, that's so perverse, but I could see it.
Him and
Oh
Bill
my
Gates.
god,
That's what they get off on, setting out
I
this
could see it.
vaccine.
That's disgusting. That's a very unpleasant. Um, yeah, that's gross. I could see it happening.
These sick fucks have nothing. They really have nothing better to aspire to, right? They have their money.
Yeah,
They
they have
have
everything. They have
they
their
have the clout. I
money.
don't know what else they have to do. So they've already banned Trump. They've saved democracy. So
I could see that. I could see that Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg put their semen in every fucking, vaccine, and they will be immortal because every human being on the planet will have their sperm inside them. will have their semen.
You know, Epstein was gonna do that. He had plans for that.
Oh yeah, he had that like where he had like a bunch of his semen like being like stored up, and he wanted to create like a super soldier army of like like child soldiers with him that were of his blood.
My God. Oh no. What a horrible thing to imagine.
What a horrible future we're all gonna be living in.
What a
Well, at
horrible
least
feature.
yeah,
But
well that
at least January 20th will be lit. No matter what
yeah, at
happens,
least
it's
that'll
gonna
be
be
lit.
lit.
So
I'm looking forward to it, Chris.
even though we'll all have Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates' semen inside of us, at least we can enjoy the shit show that will be January 20th. So stay tuned, folks.
All right. Why don't we call it a day?
All right.